Imagine selling an imaginary airport for $242 million. How can one even begin to imagine something like this? Many of us receive spam emails frequently, and Nigeria in particular is famous for this type of scam.
We're keeping his identity secret.
It still impacts my life years later.
NJ and West, both victim to a multi-million-dollar Nigerian crime ring.
You receive an email from a person who claims to be a prince, a doctor, or a bank manager, and he tells you that there is a large amount of money and he needs your help in transferring this amount to the country. In return, you will take a large part of this amount, but all you need to do is to send a small amount in advance in order to verify your bank account before they start transferring millions of dollars to you. One of the classic scam methods from when humans started using email, but the scam that we will see today was before the internet era. Originally, these internet scammers are just rookies in front of the Nigerian king of swindlers, who we will see in today's story about how he sold a fake airport for $242 million. In 1995, the manager of the Brazilian Noroeste Bank received a call from Nigeria. The caller on the other end was not an ordinary Nigerian citizen. This caller was the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The central bank is the highest financial organization in the country, and it is the one that controls all the banks in the country and determines the financial policies. The governor of the central bank is considered to have the rank of a minister, meaning the director of the Noroeste Bank, thinking it was very serious that the governor of the central bank of a country called you. The topic is definitely important. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria started to speak and said that Nigeria is planning to build an airport in the capital city. Abuja is one of the largest cities in Nigeria, and the number of people in it is very large. Certainly, if an airport is built in it, there will be a large movement on it. Here, the interest of the director of the Brazilian bank increased, and he began to listen more carefully. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria continued his speech. He said, "Nigeria is currently looking for investors to invest in the airport project, and the estimated cost is about $250 million. All of this is available to you, and we are presenting this opportunity to more than one bank around the world." I mean, it was as if he was saying that you need to hurry. If you do not seize the opportunity quickly, another bank may come and take it. The Brazilian bank manager was thinking of airports in large cities around the world as one of the most lucrative projects. An average-size airport can return the initial investment, which is $250 million within a year or two. This means that this chance might be an irreplaceable. So the director of the Brazilian bank came to think a little while he was holding the phone. But the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria cut the rob of thoughts when he said, "And also we will give you as a bank manager a special offer. You'll have a commission of $10 million since you are the mediator who will allow this deal to take place." The manager of the Brazilian bank felt an increase in enthusiasm. He already thinks that this is a distinguished investment opportunity for the bank, but after he heard he will take $10 million on top of it, this deal started to look even more attractive. In the end, he's not investing his money. He's investing the money of the bank's customers, the people who deposited their money in the bank, and the thing made him care less. In the end, after some back and forth, he took a bid with the governor of the Nigerian bank. He said, "Okay, our bank is going to take this investment opportunity," and started with the procedures. The director of the Brazilian bank did not know he was not talking to the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, but he was talking to a person named Emmanuel Nwud. Emmanuel did not have any business in building an airport. In fact, there was no airport in the first place. The whole situation is a lie. So who is this person and how was he destined to pull this huge scam? Emmanuel Nwud was also the director of a bank in Nigeria, a bank called the Union Bank of Nigeria, which is a private commercial bank. It was not even a state bank, and Emmanuel was a comfortable man who had reasonable money and wealth. A bank manager named Paul Kuma devised a scheme to raise millions by impersonating the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. He formed a team of 5 experienced banking professionals led by Emmanuel Nwud to create a fake project for a new airport in Abuja. which had recently become Nigeria's capital. They drafted a convincing official letter from a fictitious director in the Nigerian Ministry of Aviation seeking investments for the project. The letter was sent to various foreign banks, including Brazil's Noro Asai, using a government fax machine to enhance credibility. This approach was designed to attract potential investors by leveraging the Nigerian government's genuine interest in developing Abuja. Saka, a director at a Brazilian bank, received a letter expressing interest in an investment opportunity. Emmanuel, impersonating the governor of the central bank, spoke with Saka, convincing him of the investment's potential. They agreed to meet in London to discuss it further, aiming to keep the project confidential until it starts in 4 to 5 years. Emmanuel and his team, posing as important figures, including the deputy governor and a director from the Ministry of Aviation, prepared thoroughly for the meeting, including plans for an airport. They flew to London and stayed at a luxury 5-star hotel. And when Sakaguchi arrived at the airport, they sent him a limousine to welcome him, and they booked him the best suite in the hotel. And after that, during the meeting, they introduced themselves as the characters they played, and AKA was believing everything. Of course, at that time, there was no internet, Google, or search engines, meaning Saka was not able to enter the internet and search for the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria's pictures to confirm his identity. And on top of this, Emmanuel has fake documents that look very real. Also has pictures with the president of Nigeria and the prime minister, which makes the lie look more realistic. He narrated the initial airport plans, the business plan, and the location of the land, which was all a lie. But during their meeting, Emmanuel said, "We want to keep the project confidential. This project will not start construction until 4 or 5 years from now." Saka told him, "We will send the money anytime you all would like to start the project." Emmanuel interrupted, saying, "No, we cannot wait until the time of construction. The money must be in our hands sooner because all that we have is just plans. We need to start hiring companies and providing tools and materials. So the supply of money must start from now here." Saka started to second-guess himself. It was clear to Saka that there was something suspicious with Emmanuel, who pressured him and said, "Look, if you are not comfortable with this project, then there is no problem. We had a large number of investors who would like to meet with us to discuss this opportunity, but you were the first one to respond to us, and you were excited about the idea. And also, like what I told you before on the phone, we would like to reward you with a commission of $10 million for your efforts to complete the deal. But if you are not comfortable, we can look for other investors." He was afraid to lose such an opportunity. Great investment, plus a commission of $10 million. Saka told Emmanuel, "Even if I agreed with the case, the bank's management probably would not accept it." Manuel replied to him and told him this issue must be resolved by him. "And as I told you, if your bank is not ready to take this opportunity, many others are waiting for it." Then Saka said, "No, you can count on me. We are partners in the project. I will manage things." From this moment, Emmanuel knew that Sakaguchi had fallen into the trap and that the 10 million he had promised had motivated him. It would let him do anything to complete this deal. Saka believed that he was talking to some important people from Nigeria. The agreement that was made between them and London is that the bank will invest an amount of approximately $242 million, and we are talking about the year 1995. I mean, this money today is worth about $413 million, a huge amount. And before they finished their meeting in London, Emmanuel persuaded Sakaguchi to transfer $3 million as a deposit and proof confirming their desire for this investment opportunity. Saka felt the pressure and had to pay this down payment to not lose it, and there he fell into the trap. Even if he begins to suspect that the fraud is on him after the first payment, he will still pay more. To remain hopeful, Sakaguchi got played psychologically, and this is the most important skill for any professional scammer. So Emmanuel insists that Saka GCI pays a deposit of $3 million before leaving London. He became completely under Emmanuel's mercy. Saka keeps sending Emmanuel millions constantly over 3 years, from the year 1995 to the year 1998. Saka, the idiot, didn't tell anyone from the bank's management and even took some effective steps so that no one from the management and the main owners of the bank knew about it. Saka transferred $242 million to Emmanuel and his team over 3 years for an airport project in Nigeria. He cleverly kept each transfer under $6 million to avoid board approval and spread the funds across different countries and banks to avoid suspicion. Emmanuel and his crew, with banking backgrounds, used 17 banks to obscure the money trail and invested in real estate and shares globally. Their scheme went unnoticed until Santander Bank sought to acquire Noro Este Bank and discovered that a third of Noro's capital was missing. Bank manager Nelson Sakaguchi revealed the unauthorized transfers, shocking the board. After managing the bank for 14 years, a significant decision was made without informing key stakeholders, leading to an investigation into a complex money transfer network. This investigation ultimately traced the funds to Nigeria, where financial controls were lacking. Despite pressure from Western banks, including Switzerland, the true identities of those behind the accounts remained hidden due to Nigeria's weak laws against financial fraud. Emmanuel and his associates evaded repercussions, possibly through bribery, while the bank faced losses after selling to Santander for less than its value. Meanwhile, Sakaguchi was tried in Switzerland for fraud and money laundering. The bank's owners appointed lawyers globally to recover their losses, but cooperation from the Nigerian government was non-existent, leaving them in a difficult position. In 2003, Nigerian President John Obasanjo established the Financial Crimes Commission in response to increasing financial fraud. In 2004, the commission investigated Emmanuel and his gang, resulting in 5 arrests. The 6th gang member died in a suspicious car accident, leading to speculation of an assassination to prevent him from revealing information in exchange for a lenient sentence. During the trial in Abuja, Emmanuel attempted to bribe jurors, prompting the judge to transfer the case to Lagos. Despite this, Emmanuel continued his bribery attempts, leading to an additional charge. A bomb threat during the trial was later deemed fake after special forces investigated. Emmanuel's plan to escape failed, and during the trial, he negotiated to return stolen money. Initially offering $10 million, the prosecutors demanded $80 million, while he countered with $40 million. Eventually, with new evidence from witness Nelson Sakaguchi, who implicated Emmanuel in a major crime, prosecutors upped the demand to $120 million and a $10 million fine. Emmanuel agreed and received a reduced sentence of 5 years, but served less than 2. Afterward, he sued the government for overreach and regained about $50 million through bribes. Years later, in 2016, he was arrested again, this time for conspiracy to commit murder over a land dispute, allegedly sending followers to attack landowners, resulting in a guard's death. Despite this, it's likely he continues to live comfortably. Make sure you take a look at other stories in the channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.